This is Shania Hurtado. She's a young political activist here at Klein Collins High School. Recently, she did a news story with Bloomberg TikTok over her activism throughout the city of Houston.
The video focused on bringing attention to the climate crisis in Houston and making sure that people are aware of the dangers of climate change and make sure that people take action to make a difference and to mitigate the effects of climate change.
Shania will be importantly impactful on society. Ms. Cox and I talk about it all the time. She never ceases to amaze us. Shania will go far. Shania will hopefully one day lead this country. Shania will be extremely influential in the world and truly make change happen. And she's so good at expressing herself that people will finally listen and understand.
I think Shania's future is essentially going to revolve around some sort of career in public policy. She has probably the most passion for learning about roles of government and the environment than any student I think I've ever had. I kind of always joke with her that I think she's going to definitely be president one day. But not even so much a joke. I mean, I think that she's going to make a huge impact within government, or again, just some sort of community service, but at a public policy level.
I felt incredibly honored to be a part of that video for Bloomberg TikTok. It definitely felt like a privilege to me as a young female Latina woman to be included and to have a voice for such a large platform. It definitely inspired me to continue fighting and inspired me to keep going and make sure that I also elevate different voices along Houston.
Well, ever since I've known her in middle school, she's always been doing something, whether it's just posting about a certain issue or now that she started the Girl Up Club, it's really grown into something impactful in a sense, I'd say. So I'd say she's always been wanting to get involved in her community or all that.
I think last year is when I realized how involved she was with the community and some of these outreach groups. I didn't, and that was just through Girl Up, working with her in that organization. I had her as a freshman in class, and I knew she was passionate about a lot of these concepts, but I didn't know the level that she was involved really until last year. And even this year, I find out more and more of what she's interested in public policy-wise.
Being involved in my community and being active in my community is something that is incredibly important to me. I do this by participating in organizations like the Girl Up Southeast Texas Coalition, as I am the co-coalition leader for this organization that's dedicated to fighting for girls' rights all around the world. And in addition to this, I also participate in the Period movement. The Period Houston chapter focuses on ending menstrual poverty in Houston and all around the country, and focuses on making sure that those in poverty have access to menstrual products. In addition to this, I also participate in political protests and rallies. I'm very passionate about making sure that I use my voice and that I fight for those whose voices sometimes are often ignored.
Shania seems like an absolutely amazing friend and an absolutely amazing student. I've never had her in a class, but Shania is, one of the top students in her junior class. Shania, the other day, posted a forum on mental health because she's worried about her friends going through the same type of burnout that she went through last year. And she just has the biggest heart and wants everyone to be happy, healthy, and that's the true humanitarian in her.
It's impacted me by inspiring me to kind of use my voice in a more political sense, because her and I have similar ideologies. It's just that she's more open about it and she talks about it a lot more than I do. And I think ever since I've known her, she's kind of helped me grow out of that shell to where I can feel free to speak about what I think is right.
Honestly, for me, Shania she's kind of an inspiration. I mean, she keeps me motivated for what I do because she inspires me to learn more every day. She embodies what a true lifelong learner is, and she gives me a run for my money in terms of knowledge of government, and even the high-level questions she's able to come up with really impresses me. And so I would really say, not even friend or student, she just is an inspiration in terms of somebody who continues to learn, which I really respect out of people.
I feel very happy that my actions and what I'm passionate about has inspired other people to also take action and use their voice for what they believe in. It's very touching to me to see that happen, as I'm just a girl doing what she's passionate about, but to see this direct impact really inspires me and persuades me to keep going.
We can combat climate change through joining up with people like Shania. The youth understand the science behind it, they're passionate about it, they also have their future at stake, and if they want a family and children, that future is at stake, they get that. And through going to City Hall and protesting and making their voices heard and their faces seen, they truly will start leading the world in the right direction.
The best way for youth to take charge and to influence the conversation on climate change is to just rise, to do something. The climate strikes that are happening all across the United States are starting these conversations, and they're forcing politicians to take a closer look at climate change and prioritize it. The youth hold this power, and it is so important for them to take charge because this is our future. You know, politicians right now, they don't care as much because it's not directly impacting them. But the fact that we're studying right now for a future that we don't even know exists is enough to know that we should be fighting for this.
I think the youth can help combat climate change by simply doing things such as recycling or turning off the lights when they're not using them. Just small things like that, because I know that we're still young and we can't make too big of an impact at the moment, but just small things like that, if we all just work together to help our environment, we can all make a difference.
Climate change has affected Houston. We see it every single day. We saw it with Hurricane Harvey and the devastation that caused. We see it with droughts. We see it with the impoverished community and how scary it is that they won't be able to afford to move, and the looming threat of that in the future. We see it with the fact that we're the energy corridor of the world. We're producing and refining fossil fuels at an extremely fast rate. And if we don't step up, we could be the next Detroit, also underwater.
Climate change has affected Houston in so many ways. First of all, a few years back, Hurricane Harvey devastated the city of Houston, and we honestly still haven't recovered. Just a few weeks ago, there was another flood that impacted so many people in the city. And it'll only get worse over time. Every single season, climate change only worsens, and temperatures and disasters are even more extreme.